Hello, I'm Chuck Long, and on this edition of the Entertainment Outlook, The Normal Heart is a groundbreaking work about the onset of the HIV/AIDS crisis in the early 1980s. The drama has lost none of its power or relevance since it was first performed 30 years ago this April. Here are some scenes from the award-winning HBO feature.
Let's move somewhere far away.
Don't you dare stop for one single second what you're doing.
How are they going to help us if they don't know who we are?
They won't help us, Ned, if they do.
What happens to people who can't be as strong as you want them to be?
They're going to cancel our health insurance. They're going to put us into camps. They're going to quarantine us.
You can't stop fighting for the ones you love.
And now one of Nashville's newest theater entities, Music Cedar Theater Company, brings this heartbreaking, critically acclaimed play to our city's streets. To tell us all about it, Director Bradley Moore. Great to have you here, Bradley.
Thanks for having me, Chuck.
Very excited about the fact that The Normal Heart is coming out. I want to ask you about that, but first, Music City Theater Company. So this is your puppy. This is your baby. So yes. This is your 10th production?
That is correct.
All right, so tell me, how did that come to be, Music City Theater Company?
Well, years ago, I was touring in the music business, but I had done theater my entire life, so I'd kind of gone a span of a couple of years without doing theater. So I decided, well, I'm going to start my own company and do shows on my own time.
And what was your vision from the beginning for it?
Really just to kind of bring a different, viewpoint on theater to Nashville. Thought-provoking, strong vision, socially relevant works.
And how is it going so far? How are you feeling about
Great.
it?
Great.
10 productions in.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of everything we've done. So.
And what attracted you to The Normal Heart?
I read the play years ago, and it always kind of resonated with me on some level. And then, of course, recently, with the revival on Broadway and the HBO film, it's brought back into light. And I just kind of thought it was a good time with everything with, gay marriage happening. And I also feel that, the AIDS/HIV crisis kind of has lost some of its kind of relevance in a way, or importance to people, because it's kind of become desensitized, and I thought it was good to kind of bring to light where it all started.
Is there something about this particular production that you want to really kind of put your own spin on as you look at it and as it comes out?
I just want to really focus on the realness of the characters, because these were real people. They were based on real people, and I want the audience to kind of just feel what they were going through and see kind of the plight that happened at the onset of this 34 years ago.
And when you have something, you mentioned, we had the HBO feature that we saw the clips from at the top of the segment. Is there any preconceived notion that you feel like, obviously, now it's a feature film kind of thing, but, and this being a play, is there anything that you want to do differently, or that you want to put your own touch on it as opposed to how we saw it in the movie?
Yeah, I mean, I think I always try to do my own thing. I don't really follow anyone else's lead when it comes to directing or putting on shows. I think it'll be difficult in this sense because people have seen the film, and so they'll be comparing people to Julia Roberts and Mark Ruffalo. But that's not what it's about. It's about the words on the page and bringing it to life.
And this subject matter, as we were talking a little bit earlier, saying, some of the relevance, because I think some people have gotten complacent about HIV and AIDS and that sort of thing. Is there something in particular you want the play to reach out and say to people?
I definitely want the audience just to feel something. Everyone's going to take something different. It's how theatrical experiences work. You take something different from everything you see. But I do think, it's kind of interesting. This play starts in 1981, which is the year I was born.
Oh, wow.
So for some reason, that's kind of an interesting thing for me, and it takes place over the course of 3 years. But I do think it has become desensitized. There was a huge fear in the 80s and 90s for this epidemic, as there were no treatments, they didn't even know how you got it back then. They weren't sure if you could get it by kissing or touching someone. So to see how far we've come, but yet how far we have to go, I think is important for people to understand.
All right, we are really looking forward to that, and it opens April 9th. We have the actors coming up. We're going to be talking to them in the next segment, and we'll give all the information on how you get tickets. So looking forward to it. I'm part of this cast too, so I'm really looking forward to it as well.
Yes, you are. Thank you so much.
So enjoyed it. All right, up next, 3 of the actors from the upcoming production of The Normal Heart, when Out and About Today continues.